So confident. That's the heartbeat. I heard it. One more time. One more time. One more time. I heard it. I heard it. Come on, let's take a roll. Come on, come on. It ain't my week to teach, so I ain't gonna start, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna do the little preach thing I'm doing. I'll wait till it's my turn to preach. It's Quab's turn. If y'all want to hear choir sing, say sing, preacher.
You know that's the way you never get me to sing.
Gotta say sing mellow. Sing mellow. There you go. Oh yeah, Hebrewish. Right. Kind of Hebrewish. Check. Microphone. Check. Now hear me good. I got soul, and I'm super blessed. I got soul, and I'm super blessed. I ain't got nothing. I got soul, and I'm super blessed. It looks light today. That snow started coming down. Ain't nobody want to get out the house, huh? Sheesh. Everybody out of town, ain't it? That's what it is. Everybody out of town. That ain't it. They getting wet on the ground. The people ain't want to come outside. Right. You know, this walk a slippery slope. You know?
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
How's everybody week?
Good, good.
Good, beautiful. Any monies? Anybody want to drop any monies? Testimonies, that is, about your week?
Any testimonies or cash money, whichever one.
You got any visitors? First time, new? No? Okay. So I've been doing this series about the 7 deadly sins, right? And we are finally at the last one. Hold on a second. Hello? Nope, it's open. And we are at the last one, which is actually the first one. So we're gonna go in a different direction with it. So this is Yah's way or our way. Pride. Right? Let me ask y'all a question. If you were Yah, how would you govern the kingdom? How would you run the world? Straightforward question. If you were Yah, how would you run the world? How would you govern the world? Not everybody at once.
Definitely would have standards and laws, because there's no such thing as a kingdom without it.
And what would your standards and laws consist of?
Jacob.
So what would your standards and laws consist of?
I was giving on things I felt necessary to make things right. For me.
For you, because you in charge. And
Everything would be based around me.
okay.
Talk.
Perfect. So, what if somebody in your kingdom wasn't happy with your rulership?
Well,
You sit off with their heads.
they don't have,
Guillotine work.
I am in charge. So, what they feel, really not that so doesn't. Because I am in charge, right? I'm gonna make sure they realize what I'm doing for this government.
But they ain't better than. And since you're doing it exactly how you're doing it, do you think that anybody would rebel against your?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because everybody wants to be in charge.
Everybody wants to be in. Well, say that bigger.
Everybody wants to be like me.
That's only if you run the world. That's only if he run the world. I got you.
Right.
Understood.
Got you. I know what you were saying.
I ain't talking about brother Gospel.
Yeah. We know. We got you. Anybody else? If you were in charge of the world, how would you run it?
Sheesh. Glad I'm not in charge of the world.
Go ahead, sister.
Integrity, things that come to my mind readily are with integrity, meaning that those standards have to be enforced so people know that, that I mean what I say, and integrity meaning that I am consistent, and then select people in different positions who are skilled function well.
And what if one of those people that you chose turned on you and tried to take your spot? What do you do?
Well, it depends, oh, take my spot, rebellion, open rebellion. They would have to be vanquished,
Sheesh.
or
That was a strong word.
they
Woo!
would have to be vanquished.
I'm about to look that word up.
And if they left and then got others who were like them to try to invade or take over with the army, then they would have to be eliminated.
Okay? So, if you were running the world, this is the problem that we would all run into, because we would run it. Now, the simple answer to if you were in charge and running the kingdom
Like, yeah.
would simply be, I would run it like Yah.
That's right.
Right? That's the simple answer, because you say anything else, you saying that I don't agree with him and how he's doing it. See what I'm saying? Because everybody in the world wants their own way. I want stuff to be ran my way, and if it ain't my way, it ain't right. Finish this out. It's my way or the
96. Play on the freeway.
Go ahead.
Yeah, when you first asked that question, I hesitated because the thing is, I wasn't thinking about me. I was thinking about there's no better way than the way Yah's kingdom is designed. No better way. Nothing that I would think of apart from his being the standard is good. And people who think, the world always thinks they have a better way. And like Dr. Phil used to say, how's that working for you? We look around us, and although all these ideas of what's better, it does not work, and we don't even see as a people, come out human, we don't even see that it does not work, and that's why we have every last problem that we have is because we don't agree with God and always think we have a better way, and it's all that for thousands of years and it's never worked.
Absolutely. Everybody wants things their way. When new stuff comes along, well, I'm leaving, I'm not coming back because it's not my way. Frank Sinatra had the song, I do it my way. Right? That's what's wrong with the world, because everybody wants it their way. Y'all don't run the world like Burger King. You can't have it your way. Right? Give me Proverbs chapter 14, verse 12.
Proverbs chapter 14 and verse 12. There is a way which seems right unto a man.
There's a what?
A way that seems right unto a man.
But Mashiach says, I am the way. So this person says, this is mostly all men. Read that from the top again.
There is a way which seems right unto a man.
Which does right?
Seems right unto a man.
It is right.
It seems right unto a man.
So in everybody's own heart, what they're doing is right. But he says it seems right. But because it seems right to you, if I'm running the kingdom, I'm going to give what seems right to me. Right? Because it seems right, I'm going to push it to the people. Read.
But the end thereof are the ways of death.
Are the what?
The ways of death.
But the end of what you seem right in your own heart, at the end of that is what?
Death.
It is death. So it's the ways that seem right to a man. So we're all born with the hole in us from the beginning. After Adam did what he did, everybody is born with a hole in them. Right? And since we are born with this hole in us, we seek to fill it with something. What do we normally try to fill this hole with?
The pleasures of this world.
Absolutely. Everybody is a different thing that feels it, that you think feels it. But you will see that it's just emptiness. Yo. Yeah. It's got an echo to it. Yo. Yeah, that's still got a little bit. Yo. Yo. All right, that's good. So everybody is born with this hole in them, and we seek to fill it with all different manner of things. Some people, it is sex. Some people, it is material things. Some people, it is fame, fortune, whatever it be, your vice. But if you've been living a while, you know that they don't suffice. They always fade away. No matter how much you like some object or something, it always fades away after a little bit of time. Right? That's the pursuit of happiness. It always gets dull because it's always a new one that they got. Give me Ecclesiastes chapter 8 and verse 15.
Ecclesiastes chapter 8 and verse 15. Then I commended mirth, because a man hath no better thing under the sun.
Under what?
Under the sun.
That he should do what?
Than to eat and to drink and to be merry.
And to be what?
Merry.
So he's telling you the basics of life. Everything in life comes back to just these things right here. Eating and drinking. Right? Because this is what's absolutely necessary to sustain life. Right? Everything else is a plus, it's an added on. Read that one more time.
Then I commended mirth, because a man hath no better thing under the sun than to eat and to drink and to be merry.
To eat and to drink and to be merry. Give me 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 6.
First Timothy 6 and 6. But godliness with contentment.
But what?
Godliness with contentment.
With what?
With contentment.
What does contentment mean? Satisfied. This is enough for me. But we've been taught that this is not enough. I have to have a car. I have to have this and the third. I have to have a car with 3 garages in it. My house have to have 4 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms and marble floors and all of this stuff that's just added on. He says godliness or yalliness with contentment is great gain. Read.
For we brought nothing into this world.
We did what?
We brought nothing into this world.
So you brought nothing into this world, and everything that you got is whose really? Yah's. Read.
And it is certain we can carry nothing out.
We can do what?
Carry nothing out.
So when you die, you can say, I want y'all to bury me in the white Benz coffin with all my jewelry and all my precious possessions. You say, I'm going to take it with me. And all the grave people are going to do as soon as your family leave, they're going to take it. don't leave you where you're going.
It's for free.
So godliness with contentment is great gain. Read.
And having food,
And having what?
food,
Read.
and raiment, let us be therewith content.
Let it be what?
Content.
So that's all you really need. Food, raiment, a place to stay, and you good. And it ain't about how fancy it is, or none of the rest of the stuff. It's being content with what you have. But why aren't no one content with what they have? It's not rhetorical.
The answer?
They see what others have.
The last name, ring a bell. The Joneses.
Mm-hmm. You said you want to do what? The best that you can. So according to these texts, it says have food and raiment. The other one says that there's nothing better than a man to eat and drink and to be merry. So anything outside of that is what? It's just extra. Yeah, it's perks. Again, we're going to see it ain't nothing wrong with having these things, right? There's nothing wrong with it. But you're going to find out it's from here what's wrong with the way that most people do it.
Right. If you talking about like setting up something for your family that's different than you having it all for yourself. You know what I'm saying? I got this set up for my son when he get to be such and such. That's one thing.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes.
All right. What verse you
I
got?
get what you're saying.
What verse you at?
That was verse 8. This is verse 9 if we read it.
No, we're good.
Okay.
Give me John chapter 10, verse 9.
John chapter 10 at verse 9. I am the door.
I am what?
The door.
I am the door. Read.
By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved.
He shall what?
Be saved.
So he's letting you know, I'm the door. You can't go into that door. You can't go that way. You can't go this way. You can't do this. You can't do this. I'm the door. In order to get to Yah, you got to come through Him. Read.
By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved.
He shall what?
He shall be saved.
So if you go in this way, you shall be saved. Read.
And shall go in and out and find pasture. The thief come not, but for to steal, to kill, and to destroy. I am come that they may have life, and that they might have it more abundantly.
More what?
More abundantly.
He says, I'll come to give you life more abundantly. What does that mean?
A surplus of life.
I'm going to give you everything that you need and more. He says, I'm going to give it to you more abundantly. Is this a new thing? No, it's not. But man seeks to do things his own way and messes up. That's verse 10 you at?
That's verse 10.
Read that again from the top.
The thief come not, but for to steal, and to kill, and to destroy. I am come that they may have life, and that they might have it more abundantly.
More abundantly. Again, I want you to keep that in mind. I could have life more abundantly if I go through the door. I want to create my own door. I don't like that door. So let me create my own door, my own way. Oprah says, there's many ways to God. You can get there all kinds of ways just because you say that, but there's many, many different ways to get there. I say this and you say that. Is that accurate?
What you got?
That's confusion. That's Babylon. That's what got everybody messed up. From a child, we want our own way. Everything revolves around me. Exactly. Famous words. Matthew chapter 6, verse 28.
Matthew chapter 6 and verse 28. And why take you thought for your raiment?
Do what?
Why take you thought for your raiment?
Read.
Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They toil not, neither do they spin. And yet I say to you that even Solomon in all his esteem was not arrayed like one of
He
these.
says Solomon in all his glory and his esteem still didn't look as good as these lilies. Now we know from the text how elaborate Solomon was, right? His throne is laid over with pure gold and ivory tusk, the lions on it, the whole nine. The most elaborate throne ever, earthly throne ever, right? But he says, not even him in all of his esteem was arrayed like one of these lilies. Read.
Wherefore, if Elohim so clothed the grass of the field, which today is, and tomorrow is cast into the oven, shall not much more clothe you? Shall he not much more clothe you? O you of little faith. Therefore take no thought, saying, what shall we eat? Or what shall we drink? Or wherewithal shall we be clothed? For after all these things do the Gentiles seek. For your heavenly Father knows that you have need of all these things.
So he already knows that you got need of these very things. Read.
But seek you first the kingdom of Elohim.
Do what?
Seek you first the kingdom of Elohim.
Seek you first your own kingdom.
Seek you first the kingdom of Elohim.
And then what?
And his righteousness.
And what?
And all these things shall be added to you.
And everything that you seeking and desiring, if you put him first and go his way, he says all of these things will be added unto you. Because after all, he says, I came to give you life more abundantly. Right? But seeking him, how do we know how to seek him? We just were singing that song. I will seek the goodness of God. I will remain, confident in this. I will see the goodness of me. Wait a minute.
Remix.
Wait a minute. So even though we sing the goodness of Yah, we still actually be seeking the goodness of self. We seeking the goodness of self. What verse you in?
That's verse 33.
Read that one more time.
But seek you first the kingdom of Elohim and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added to you.
So how do we know how to seek him and seek his righteousness? Where do we look to? His what? His law. Exodus 20, he lays out his plan on how I want you to do what you do and what I don't want you to do. And every time you break one of these, who becomes your God? You become it. Because you're saying, I want my own way. I know your laws say this. I heard people do this a bunch. I know it say this, but you will just have to get me on this one. Do you really know what you're saying? He gonna have to get me on this one. You can't really fathom and know what you're saying when you say stuff like this. You cannot fathom what you're saying. Because you would never say that in every idle word that you speak. So, Exodus 20 and other places shows us Yah's way, what is right, what is wrong. John chapter 14, verse 1.
John chapter 14 and verse 1. Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in Elohim, believe also in me.
He said, don't let your heart be troubled. You believe in the Father, believe in me. Read.
In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you.
I do what?
I go to prepare a place for you.
I go to prepare a place for me.
For you.
He's not about himself. He says, I'm going to prepare a place for you. Read.
And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you to myself.
I will do what?
I will come again and receive you to myself.
I will come again and receive you to myself. So buy a mansion, put it on TV to make people envy it, right? Or have all your people come and live with you and everybody be under it. That's what man do. Because we like people to envy us. Read.
I'm sorry, where was we at? I'm checking in, talking about the base.
I think we're in verse 3.
Verse 3. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you to myself. There where I am, there you may be also. And where I go, you know, and the way you know.
And the what?
The way you know.
He says the way, y'all already know it. You know the way. Why did Israel reject him when he came?
He didn't, in their mind, didn't measure up to their expectations, to their desires. They wanted someone who would, first of all, in the physical, get rid of their enemies,
is good now.
so that they could, in the physical realm, be rulers over others.
So he didn't do it the way that they wanted him to do it.
The conqueror, physical conqueror.
Right.
There's also jealousy, where leaders were jealous of him, so they started arousing hatred for him throughout the people.
And why did they have envy for him?
Because he was taking attention away from them. They wasn't following after. He wasn't really following after their ways.
After what?
After their ways, their traditions, their laws.
Gotcha. I agree.
I was just going to say about what he said. He showed a different initiatives to the custom way that they were living, their laws, their attitude, their actions, their entertainment, the way they conducted business, and the things that they did was like against things that he believed there was naturally in the natural realm of reality and spiritual for them to follow. So he had a different belief, and they were afraid, they were intimidated, and he had no worries, and they were scared of that, and that was power. He took all that away from them the moment he stepped foot on that soil.
Right.
It was also fear because they was afraid of Caesar. They said that this man is drawing the wrong kind of attention. They charged him for sedition. They was afraid of Caesar, the emperor, the Romans, what they might think if they created a king, because the law was around that time. The Roman law was that there was not supposed to be no king or no but Caesar.
Right. Absolutely. So these people didn't agree with the way that Yah was doing his business. They wanted him to do it their way. I want you to come and I want you to kill these Romans. I want you to take over everything right now. But if he come and take over everything right then and there, what does that leave us? What does that make him? It makes him a sinner. Because now he will break scripture.
And he lied.
Exactly, and he would be a liar. He tells you that the scriptures cannot be broken. If he get in his pride at any time, he's going to break the scriptures. At any time, he's going to break the scriptures. Matthew chapter 10, verse 17.
Matthew chapter 10, at verse 17. But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues. And you shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. But when they deliver you up, take no thought of what you shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what you shall speak. But it is not you that speak.
But it's what?
It is not you that speak.
So he tell you don't even go in and try to rehearse what I'm going to talk about when I get up there. Don't do it. Don't think, oh man, I got to have something to say to him. Don't even do that. I'm going to tell you what to say. I'm going to give it to you what to say. Don't speak your own words. Read.
But the Ruach of your Father which speak in you. And the brother shall deliver up the brother to death, and the father the child. The children shall rise up against their parents, and cause them to be put to death. And you shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. But he that endures to the end shall be saved.
He shall be what?
Saved.
He shall be saved. So why is all of this peril coming into the world on the earth? Why does this happen? Is Yah making this happen? Or why does this stuff take place?
The world chooses not to be subject to righteousness, to his laws and commandments.
Exactly. Because if you follow Yah's way, which is his commandments, there would be zero crime. There would be absolutely no crime at all in the world if we did what he told us. Now, what if Yah just says, forget it. Everybody do it your own way. Have at it. I take my hands away.
The purge.
What takes place?
The purge.
Facts.
Kind of like stuff that we see now. Because we in a lawless world right now. So if y'all would just flat out say, everybody have it your way, it would be murder, chaos, because now it ain't no more law. What's going to stop me from, I know sister such and such, even though she married, she liked me. We soulmates anyway.
Sheesh.
Her husband don't deserve her. Right? What's going to stop you? It's nothing. But now that you go and do it, what does that husband going to do?
He gonna kill you.
He's more than likely going to kill you.
It would be like everybody was yet to express if there was no law of any kind. It would like be like what you were saying earlier about everybody being their own God. It's like if I saw something in the store window all these years and wanted it, now I just bust the window and take it. You take people because you wanted that person, like you said, or whatever, kill people and take over their house.
Absolutely.
All kinds of stuff, and you would express yourself being God because you try to take everything and make everything the way you want it to, no matter who it hurts.
Absolutely. So All these people hate that there is a quote-unquote a God. But if he take his hand away, it would be complete chaos, which he is allowing man to do what he do because I didn't make robots. I give you the choice to do right or to do wrong. If he made you a robot, it's no fulfillment in that.
Right.
Because you're just doing what you were programmed to do. Y'all don't want robots. Real people, real emotions. Matthew chapter 16, verse 20.
Matthew 16 and 20. Then he charged his disciples that they should tell no man that he was Yeshua HaMashiach.
He did what?
He charged his disciples, saying to tell no man that he was Yeshua HaMashiach.
So you mean to tell me he didn't take the camera out and get on Facebook Live and let everybody know? And get on Instagram and let everybody know that he's the guy? Read on.
From that time forward began Yeshua to show unto his disciples how that he must go into Jerusalem and to suffer many things of the elders and the chief priests and scribes, and be killed.
And be what?
And be killed.
And be killed. So if you there with Peter right now, and he tell you, yeah, man, I'm about to go to Jerusalem, I'm about to be beat up, spit on, and they gonna kill me. You in Peter's shoes, what do you feel right there?
Not on my watch, guys.
Exactly. Same thing. But Peter don't know the book at this point. Because the way is already written. And you trying to get in the way and stop what's written. If you stop what's written, we're doing it your way. Right? And if we do it your way, we all finished. Everybody is finished if we do it what Peter wants to do.
Right.
Read.
And be killed and be raised again the third day. Then Peter took him and began to rebuke him.
He did what?
He began to rebuke him.
What does that word rebuke mean? You corrected the second in command?
That you know he the second in command.
Anybody ever said, I rebuke you? How does that feel?
The name of it.
Just the word itself. It don't even sound like just correction. It sounds like you dig it in my soul.
You pull it to the side and then, hey man, let me holler at you for a minute.
And it surprises people too. Like, I've heard that before.
I rebuke you. What? The pride meter goes to 1,000 instantly. You do what to meter?
It ain't number words. You do what?
Exactly. You can't rebuke me.
Hey man, take your coat off.
Take a photo.
Can't rebuke me. What are you talking about?
Can't rebuke me.
When Peter is trying to get in the way of the plan, he don't even know it. And he think it's a good thing. Read.
Then Peter took him and began to rebuke him, saying, Be it far from you, master. This shall not be unto you.
This shall what?
This shall not be unto you.
This ain't happening. Read.
But he turned and said unto Peter, Get you behind me, Satan.
Get you behind me. Who?
Satan.
He turns and calls Peter the adversary. Now you just try to rebuke him, and he called you the adversary. Get you behind me, Satan. Get out of my face, Satan. You trying to stop what is written. You trying to stop Yah's way from coming to pass. Read.
You are an offense unto me.
You what?
You are an offense unto me.
Read.
For you savor not the things that be of Elohim, but those that be of men.
Be of who?
Men.
Be of men. Read.
Then Yeshua said unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself.
Let him do what?
Deny himself.
Let him deny himself. We've done a whole lesson on this. What does denying oneself mean?
Natural instinct.
Follow your own instinct,
Your own will. Everything, we all want stuff to go our own way. He's telling you that you got to put it away. Get rid of it. Your own way, get rid of it because it's trash. My way is trash. His way is trash. Your way is trash. And there's only one way. It's Yah's way. And the reason why we can't ever really do stuff together and come together or something, because everybody wants their own way. The 7 deadly sins is always laying there. So we put all our money together and say, let's do this. The sloth gonna come in. Well, I'm doing way more work than this person. I should get. Oh, everybody like that person more than me. I've been doing all the work. Envy. Wait a minute. Some of the money missing. Greed. They'll always get in the way because everybody want to do things their own way.
Right.
Read that last verse again.
But he turned and said unto Peter, get behind me, Satan, for you are an offense to me. You savor not the things that be of Elohim, but those that be of men. Then said Yeshua unto his disciples, if any man gonna come after me, let him deny himself.
Let him deny himself. This is a hard thing to do. To put your own will on the back burner. And do what's best for all. This is a hard thing to do. But it can be done. And it has to be done. Isaiah 55.
Finish this out. And take up his stake and follow me.
And do what?
And follow me.
Take up his stake and follow me. What does that take the stake up mean?
Kill yourself. William's turn.
Take up his will.
No, it's just what Yaron said.
Facts. I'm getting ready to die. I'm getting ready to take this stake and I'm gonna go and I'm about to die. If you gonna follow me, deny yourself because you about to have to do what I did.
Yes. Paul says, I die daily. Meaning the sinful, prideful man inside of me gotta die every day. Remember, it's Jason. Kill it, and you think you're good, and he come right back. I'm back. The minute somebody do something that you don't like, it's back. The minute somebody cut you off on the freeway, it's back. The minute somebody do anything that you don't like or it's not your way, it's back. It don't go nowhere.
You actually feel it. Like it's, like when the ox said, man, that's that pride bubbling up. It's you can actually feel it. It's like it's on you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It seems like that's a hard thing to do when you just read about Peter willing to, he didn't want to hear that Messiah about to go and die. So I guess I'm putting my mind in that is I'm there and this man been doing miracles and stuff. I ain't thinking about the scripture, even if I did know it. I'm thinking about saving this man because even then, after they came to try to get him, they still cut off one of my man's ears. I wasn't trying to hear all that. I I'm being real. I'm not hearing the scriptures when my man just been doing miracles and been helping people. I'm down for this man right now. I'm about to have your back. You understand what I'm saying?
I got you. That's why I asked the question. I fully understand what you're saying. But if we do it your way,
I know. What I be doing tomorrow, I'm going to die for this man though. I'm down for this man the wrong way.
yes.
You dying for him for you.
Right.
When he's dying for all of us.
Right.
Exactly.
By not doing what they doing to him, they're
Right.
doing the opposite regardless of all that.
Right.
For sure.
But yeah, the street.
Yeah, I got you. I fully get it.
I mean,
Peter went back and secretly told the disciples, hey, strap up, man. This nigga talking about. No, not that sword, that one. Yeah.
Against him.
The kids.
Yeah, so I feel you. But yeah, if he do it his way, we all finished.
Right.
Isaiah 55, verse 6.
Isaiah 55:6. Seek you Yahuwah while he may be found.
He said, do what?
Seek you Yahuwah while he may be found.
He said, seek him while he may be found. That means it's a time period on this. The door might close. So we like to put stuff off for another day, right? What sin is that? Sloth. You're a procrastinator. I'm going to put it off. But he says, seek him while he may be found. Again, that means there's a time on this. Because at some point, it's going to run out, and you're not going to be able to find him. Read.
Seek you Yahuwah while he may be found. Call you upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his way.
Let him do what?
Let the wicked forsake his way.
Peter was seeking his own way, and it was wicked. So he called him Satan. He said, let the wicked forsake his way. Read.
And the unrighteous man his thoughts.
His what?
His thoughts.
The unrighteous man his thoughts. So everybody have wicked thoughts that go on in the brain. Now what are we supposed to do with them?
Cast them down.
Cast them down. Read.
Let him return unto Yahuwah, and he will have mercy upon him. To our Elohim, for he will abundantly pardon.
Read.
For my thoughts are not your thoughts.
For my what?
My thoughts are not your thoughts.
My thoughts is not your thoughts. Read.
Neither are your ways my ways.
Your ways ain't my ways. Read.
Saith Yahuwah.
So he says, there's a way that seemeth right to a man. Right here he tells you that your ways ain't my ways. Your thoughts ain't my thoughts. Read.
For as the rain come down, for as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways.
So are my ways higher than your ways. So in order to please Yah, you gotta ease away from your ways into his ways. Right? You gotta forsake your own ways or your own will and do it his way. What verse what?
This is verse 9.
Read.
And my thoughts than your thoughts. For as the rain come down, and the snow from Shamayim, and return not there, but water the earth, and make it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower, and bread to the eater.
We good right there.
Okay.
Genesis chapter 6, verse 5.
Genesis 6 and 5. And Elohim saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth.
It was what?
Great in the earth.
So, is the wickedness of the world right now great in the earth? Read.
And that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil
It
continually.
was what?
Only evil continually.
It was only evil continuously. A recurring cycle. Over and over and over. It's all evil. Everything a man think of, he do it. Whatever seems right, I do it. That's why he says that my thoughts is not your thoughts. My ways is not your ways. We got to line it up with him. 1 Kings 11:33.
First Kings chapter 11 and verse 33. Because that they have forsaken me and
They did what?
forsaken me
They have left me, read,
and have worshipped Asherah, the goddess of the Zidonians, Chemosh, the god of the Moabites, Milcham, the god of the children of Ammon, and have not walked in my ways, to do that which is right in mine eyes.
in whose eyes?
In mine eyes.
Read.
And to keep my statutes and my judgments, as did David their father. Howbeit, I will not take the whole kingdom out of his hand, but I will make him prince all the days of his life for David my servant's sake, whom I chose.
All right. Judges chapter 21:25.
Increase you.
Yeah, when you said, what you just read, 1 Kings, verse 33, because they have forsaken, who is they? The children of Israel.
Children of Israel. I mean, they have left him. They have stopped worshiping him and started worshiping all the other false gods that's around him. Judges 21:25.
Judges chapter 21 and verse 25. In those days there was no king in Israel.
That was what?
There was no king in Israel.
On this earth right now, who's the king of Israel? I said on the earth. Nobody, right? Read.
Every man did that which was right in his own eyes.
He did what?
He did that which was right in his own eyes.
There it goes. It says, every man did that which was right in his own eyes. So when I asked y'all earlier about if you were over the kingdom, how would you run it? This is what it would be. Every man would do that which is right in his own eyes. We would have pure chaos everywhere. Because I don't like how you running it. This country says somebody that's doing something on the other side of the world. I don't like how you treating them people over there. I'm coming over there and do something about it. How are you beefing with somebody on the other side of the ocean? How are you doing that? How does that make sense? Just like you looking across the street and you see something going on in these people's house and you don't like it. I don't like that you're not letting those kids eat McDonald's every day. They deserve it. Don't they get all A's? Who are you to go and tell these people this? But that's what happened when everybody do that which is right in their own eyes. But that's what everybody wants. I want to do my own thing. From a child, we've been into this. Read that verse again.
Hold on 1 second. Sheila, go sit next to your mama. Stop playing. In those days, there was no king in Israel. Every man did that which was right in his own eyes.
In his what?
In his own eyes.
In his own eyes. Now, what is this breaking?
First commandment.
Absolutely. Because you're doing your own thing. Let's get a script for it. Deuteronomy chapter 12, verse 8.
Deuteronomy chapter 12 at 8, verse 8. You shall not do after the things that we do here this day. Every man whatsoever is right in his own eyes.
And what?
In his own eyes.
In his own eyes. The law tell you don't do this.
Facts.
All kings are supposed to do what?
What y'all say? What the law say?
But what are they supposed to actually physically do?
Oh, write the law.
They're supposed to physically write the law. So if you write it, you definitely should know
Real tough.
it, right? It's one thing to read it, but if you're physically writing it out, you gotta know it, right? Unless you don't want to know it. Keep that in mind. Deuteronomy. Now we'll come back to that. Proverbs 16 and verse 7.
I never looked at that like that was like a commandment. 16 and what?
Proverbs 16 and verse 7.
Proverbs 16 and verse 7. When a man's ways please Yahuwah, he make even his enemies to be at peace with him.
Now, I want y'all to really, really, really examine this. Do y'all believe this first off? One more time, do y'all believe this?
Get out your feelings.
He says, when a man's ways please Yah, even his enemies will be at shalom with him. I learned this from my brother. Keep this in mind. Read it one more time. Read it again.
When a man's ways please Yahuwah, he make even his enemies to be at peace with him.
He made even his enemies to be at peace with him. So when we watch slavery movies, right? What do they show you to rile you up in the movies?
They show you the worst part of slavery. They show you Mississippi.
The horrors that all the ancestors been through to piss you off.
Mm-hmm.
That's absolutely right, brother.
It wasn't like that.
He said they show you the things that make that they did to our ancestors to piss you off.
Mm-hmm. Now I want y'all to keep what we just read in that Proverbs in your mind, because we're going to come back. Genesis 32, verse 24.
Genesis 32 and 24. And I said unto them, whosoever have any gold, let him break it off. So they gave it me. Then I cast it into the fire, and there came out this cat. Oh, I'm sorry. Sheesh. That was another 32 and 24. But so somebody might be idol worshiping. Yep. Hey, look, the word be for everybody. There you go. The word for everybody. My bad.
Genesis 32 and 24. First Genesis.
First Genesis 32 and 24. And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh. And the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint, as he wrestled with him. And he said, let me go.
Do what?
Let me go.
Read.
For the daybreak. And he said, I will not let you go, except you bless me.
Unless you do what?
Except you bless me.
Unless you bless me, I'm not letting you go. Read.
And he said unto him, what is your name?
What is what?
What is your name?
He don't know this man's name. So the Yah don't know this person's name. Why is he asking him his name?
Because he lied before.
See if he gonna tell the truth. What's your name, boy?
And he said, Jacob.
He said what?
Jacob.
He says Jacob. So he tells the truth this time. Read.
And he said, your name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel.
But what?
But Israel.
Why does he change his name?
Because now he's doing something different.
Don't the meaning of his name because he supplanted. Well, he gave him a new name with a better meaning.
What does that supplanter mean?
Supplanter means deceiver.
Means what?
Deceiver.
Deceiver. Keep that in mind. Gives him a new name. Right? We always talk about, we Jake. We Jake. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing to be called Jake.
Talk that talk.
You know what I'm saying? It's not a good thing.
Talk that
That's
talk.
why he changes his name. His
Talk
name
that talk.
means deceiver. It's not a good thing.
Talk that talk, guys.
So, hold that. Get Genesis chapter 27. First Genesis 27 and 11.
Hey, for y'all that's watching, this is jokes. There is no first Genesis. Please do not write under there what Bible y'all using. It's the same one.
They know us now.
All right. Genesis 27,
Verse 11.
verse 11. And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man.
It's what?
A hairy man.
Read.
And I'm a smooth man. My father perhaps will feel me.
He will do what?
Feel me. And I shall seem to him as a deceiver.
As what?
A deceiver.
He already know it. I shouldn't do this because I'm going to be a deceiver if I do this. His name means this. Read.
And I shall bring a curse upon me and not a blessing. And his mother said unto him, upon me be your curse, my son. Only obey my voice.
Do what?
Only obey my voice.
Obey Yah's voice.
Obey my voice.
Only obey my voice. Even though I'm going to be a deceiver if I do this. Read.
And go fetch me them. And he went and fetched and brought them to his mother. And his mother made savory meat such as his father loved. And Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau, which was with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob, her younger son. And she put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands, and upon the smooth of his neck.
What are they working right now?
Iniquity.
They're working iniquity. Read.
And she gave the savory meat and the bread which she prepared into the hand of her son Jacob. And he said unto his father, and said, my father. And he said, here am I. Who are you, my son? And Jacob said unto his father, I'm Esau.
I'm who?
I'm Esau.
Is this the truth? So this is why Yah asked him, what is your name? See if you're going to lie to me. Here, he lies to his father. Is this honoring your father?
No.
It's not.
A lot of people will argue, well, he had to do it because he had to honor his mother. Well, in the same breath that you said he honored his mother, he dishonored his father.
Absolutely. There's an order with this.
Absolutely.
Read.
And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau, your firstborn.
Yo, who?
Your firstborn.
Lie. Read.
I've done according as you bade me. Arise, I pray you. Sit and eat of my venison, that your soul may bless me. And Isaac said unto his son, how is it then that you found it so quickly, my son?
Wow, you went out there and hunted and got that deer fast, boy. You getting better. Read.
And he said, because Yahuwah Elohim brought it to me.
Wow. You just brought Yah into the lie. Yeah, y'all hooked me up. I shall be as a deceiver. And what is he doing right now? Deceiving. Put on a whole elaborate costume to bring this to pass.
Bro,
Got
I swear to God, I
fake
did.
hair, everything on. He got on goat skin. Like, this boy looking like Teen Wolf. A lot of y'all probably don't know who Teen Wolf is, but go look it up. He looking like Teen Wolf and fooling his daddy. Read.
And Isaac said unto Jacob, come near, I pray you, that I may feel you, my son, whether you be my very son Esau or not.
I got you. I got on this costume. You'll never figure it out. Read.
And Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him, and said, the voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy, and his brother Esau, as his brother Esau's hands. So he blessed him. And he said, are you my very son Esau? And he said, yeah, I am. And he said, bring it near to me, and I'll eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless you. I know he ain't going to be able to season it, right? And he brought it near to him, and he did eat. And he brought him wine, and he drank.
Got him a little buzzed.
And his father Isaac said unto him, come near, and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his raiment, and blessed him. And he said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of the field, which Yahuwah hath blessed. Therefore Elohim give you of the dew of Shamayim, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine.
So he has now stolen the blessing. He got the birthright by having Esau sell it, but this right here, now he is in theft. He is stealing something that doesn't belong to him. Right? So he flees away. Is Esau chasing him? What script come to your mind?
The wicked flee when no man pursueth.
Read it again. Say it again.
The wicked flee when no man pursueth.
So ain't nobody chasing him. Because you just did something that was bad. You didn't let Yah work this out the way that he was going to work it out. You took it into your own hands and you did it your way.
Man, you know what that show, too? The sneakiness of a woman. Oh my gosh. Listen, Isaac wasn't no fool. He touched him to see if he was going to be hairy. He kissed him to see if what he smelled like. He tasted the food. He tried to check off all the boxes. And this woman thought of everything. He gonna kiss him. Yep. He gonna touch him. He gonna, let me season it. Sisters, I'm just saying, these your foremothers. All right? Y'all better stop that madness, man. Sheesh.
Go ahead, you Rod.
What's the significance
because that's readily available. We don't gotta go out and get it, but she's obviously seasoned it the same way to make it feel the same. So this man is on the run from somebody that's not even chasing him, right? So they are at war with each other. Jump down to verse 41.
Verse 4.
Matter of fact, verse 34.
Verse 34. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great, exceeding, bitter cry.
With what kind of cry?
An exceeding, bitter cry.
Y'all remember that video? What? I thought my heart. How'd it go?
Chewbacca.
He got that from Esau. Esau, the first dude that do that. Esau, the first dude to do this. This is where this came from. He cried with a bitter cry, exceeding.
He said unto his father, bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, your brother came with subtlety.
He came with what?
With subtlety, and have taken away your blessing. And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob?
Is he what?
Is not he rightly named Jacob?
He rightly named Jacob. Because he did what? Oh, no, go ahead.
His technique was deceiving the planter law that I've read.
Oh my God.
He's taking the place of another to substitute. So in and of itself, it doesn't have to be a negative, because even they use the word like take the place of somebody's job or whatnot. But he did his by decision.
Absolutely. He did it by hook or by crook. He did it by crook. So we know from this story that from this moment, this man's life is a living hell because he did it his own way. Read what you left off at. I think you were 36.
Isn't he rightly named Jacob? For he have supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright.
You sold that. Read.
Right.
Still wicked though. Read.
And behold, now he taken away my blessing.
Now he's taken away my blessing. Read.
And he said, have you not reserved the blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him your master, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. And with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto you, my son? And Esau said unto his father, have you but one blessing?
Have you what? One? Read.
Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept.
There you go again. Read.
And the vision of it is like in my face, like right now. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, your dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew from above, of the dew of Shamaim from above, and by the sword shall you live, and you shall serve your brother. And it shall come to pass, when you shall have the dominion, that you shall break his yoke from off your neck.
What verse you at?
That's verse 40.
All right, read on.
Verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing.
He did what?
He hated Jacob.
He hated Jacob. Read.
Because of the blessing that his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the day's mourning for my father at hand. But then I'm gonna kill that Negro.
I'm gonna do what?
I'm gonna kill Jacob.
He says, the day is coming when daddy gonna die, that I'm gonna kill my brother. Sworn enemies, he said, the day daddy die, I'm gonna kill my brother. I'm gonna finish him out. So remember, Jacob has to get a name change. Let's go, Genesis 33, verse 1.
Genesis 33 and 1. And Jacob lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, Esau came, and with him 400 men. And he divided the children unto Leah and unto Rachel.
He says Esau is coming with 400 men. We read something in Proverbs 16 and verse 7. It says, when a man's ways please Yah, even his enemies are at peace with him. Read.
And he put the handmaids and their children foremost, and Leah and her children after, and Rachel and Joseph hindermost. And he passed over before them, and bowed himself to the ground 7 times, until he came near to his brother. And Esau ran to meet him, and embraced him, and fell on his neck.
He did what?
And Esau ran to meet him, and embraced him.
He pulled out the sword and tried to kill him.
And Esau ran to meet him, and embraced him, and fell on his neck, and kissed him.
He did what?
He kissed him.
But the last time he seen him, he swore that I'm going to do what?
I'm going to kill him.
I'm going to kill him. Jacob gets a name change. He is now following Yah's way. His ways are now pleasing to Yah. And his sworn enemy, which is his brother, is at peace with him. So, when we're in this place, in this country, and you see some of our people being treated bad, what's bringing that on?
Question about your question. Are you talking on an individual basis as well?
Individual,
Collective.
collectively as a whole.
And,
Either way.
a lot of times, say your question again.
When you see some of our people being treated what we would think is bad, to make some people not believe in the scriptures, they said, why was Yah letting this stuff happen? Why is this, that, and the third happening?
From our ancestors' disobedience, but there have been attacks on people who were having, like, peacefully doing something, trying to go to a restaurant and eat, just being in somewhere that somebody else felt like they shouldn't be, like in a swimming pool or in a hotel.
So, let's say for instance, if you pick that person up, do you know that person's background? From that point back, do you know that person's background? To say that this person is innocent, he wasn't doing anything. He wasn't doing anything in our sight that we know of.
Right, well, even children have been killed that aren't even of the age of accountability.
Okay.
Fed to alligators and stuff.
So, that's why I'm asking, according to Proverbs 16 and 7, I asked, does everybody believe this? It says, when a man's ways please Yah, even his enemies will be at peace with him.
Well, I have to qualify it. I really would. For the individual. Because, I mean, look at the ultimate example. Mashiach, he did nothing wrong.
He is doing what he's doing for a reason, because he chose.
No, I understand that. But I'm saying his followers who were obeying him. Also, people have died who were for, even the scriptures say that we would be persecuted and killed for righteousness' sake.
Mm-hmm.
So for righteousness' sake.
Gotcha.
Not that you were doing something purposely to take somebody off of your own will.
So when we say getting killed for righteousness' sake, are we looking at being in a pool or being, no, we looking at
No, I'm
standing.
just giving a lot of
Now I get you.
examples.
So what we're saying is, when a person is standing for righteousness, like Paul, like Mashiach, like any of the apostles, the men that died in the Maccabean period, right? These people were literally standing for righteousness, as in, if you don't do this or if you do this, I'm going to kill you. We're not talking about that. We talking about the person who got stopped by the police. We talking about the person who got into a fight with a group of white folks out of nowhere. According to the text, this is why I said, when he said that, we got to remove our feelings. Because I've been in many situations as a believer that I didn't know how I got out of them situations because it didn't have nothing to do with me. It was the things were pleasing unto the Most High. Right? I done got pulled over before, and I was in Belleville, right? Police came up to the door. They tried to snatch us out of the car, and they said, "Okay, don't worry about it. We going to get back up." 3 or 4 cars pull up. They hop out of the cars with batons, right? I'm looking in the rear like, "Oh man, it's about to go down," right? And at this time, I really felt like my zeal was at like on 1,000. You know what I'm saying? And I prayed to Yahuwah, and I said, "Hey, Father, it's up to you. Let them see your face." The dude called me out of the car. He told me to come back there by myself, not with the people that was in the car. And he looked at me with this look, like this shook look. And he says, "Sorry, you had a tail light out. But everything is okay. You go ahead and get in your car and y'all go where y'all was going." Didn't even get a ticket for the tail light. All of these officers are standing out, surrounding the back of my car. And nothing happened. Right? And it was like, dang. That was a win for the Most High. You know what I'm saying? So in that particular situation, I'm looking at what he's saying, like, if your ways please Yahuwah, your enemies, the people who set out to do you bodily harm, there's nothing they're going to be able to do. You know what I'm saying? Because at this point, they have to be at peace with you. You think about us being in Babylon. When the Most High told you, he said, "Hey, go in there, build you houses."
We going there.
Oh, I'm sorry. Your toes right there? I'm sorry.
We good. We going there.
I'm sorry. I was about to
You
get
know
on
I-
my box.
You know I got an example
I'm
of what
sorry.
I'm talking about.
Sorry. Apologize.
You know I got an example of what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
I only brought it up because, if something's being discussed, I just wanted every angle touched on because people do have questions about it. There's people who are doing righteous, which you just mentioned, and I've experienced that too. Many of us have experienced when someone says, "I don't know what," somebody who you figure would not like you, or they're usually prejudiced for whatever reason against you or those like you or whatever, and they say, "I don't know why I'm doing this," and they sign a paper or give it over to you. Or I heard an instance where a young man who knew he had a record, standing up, and he testified about this in church years ago. He said he knew he had a long, lengthy record, and the judge looked at his paperwork, going through all his records and everything. He said, "Well, since this is your first offense and you haven't done anything before, I'm gonna let you go." And he's looking like, "What? You got the records? You looking at them and that comes out your mouth?"
Right.
Everybody was just rejoicing. But people would also ask, "Well, what about babies, infants? Someone kills someone, kills an infant." Now, we're not talking about somebody who willfully does wrong things, or whatnot.
You have special instances of different things that you can say this with, but even with a lot of that, that's something that comes from your parents.
Right,
That's
that's
been-
what I figured, but like I said, I just wanted to bring it out because people will hear general statements and say, "Well, I'm not gonna say anything, but I wonder about."
Absolutely. So a lot of that comes directly from your parents and what they have been doing in their lives, and it spills over to the child. Right? Let's get Jeremiah 29.
Oh, my bad. I ain't mean to.
You good. Jeremiah 29, verse 1.
Jeremiah chapter 29 at verse 1. Now these are the words of the letter that Jeremiah the prophet sent from Jerusalem unto the residue of the elders which were carried away captives.
Carried away what?
Captives.
Read.
And to the priests, and to the prophets, and to all the people whom Nebuchadnezzar had carried away captive from Jerusalem to Babylon. And after that, Jeconiah the king, and the queen, and the eunuchs, the princes of Yehudah and Jerusalem, and the carpenters and the smiths were departed from Jerusalem.
They were what?
Departed from Jerusalem.
Read.
By the hand of Elisah, the son of Shaphan, and Gamaliel, the son of Hilkiah, whom Zedekiah, king of Judah, sent unto Babylon to Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, saying, Thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, unto all that are carried away captives.
To who?
Unto all that are carried away captives.
To all that are carried away captive. This means these people are not in their land anymore. They're carried away captive. Read.
Whom I have caused to be carried away from Jerusalem unto Babylon.
Who caused them to be carried away?
Whom I have caused to be carried away from Jerusalem to Babylon.
Read.
Build you houses.
Do what?
Build you houses.
Build you houses. Do what?
And dwell in them.
Read.
Plant gardens.
Plant you a garden. Read.
And eat the fruit of them.
And do what?
Eat the fruit of them.
He's telling you, get comfortable. You're going to be there for a while. But why are we there in the first place? Why were we there in the first place?
That's us.
Because we wanted our own way. We wanted to do what we wanted to do. Since that, you're going into captivity. But I'm going to make it nice on you while you're there. I'm going to give you favor if you do my way. If you do what I tell you to do. Right? Build you houses, plant you gardens. Get comfortable. You're going to be there for a while. Jeremiah 38, verse 1.
Jeremiah 38:1. Then Shephatiah, the son of Matan, and Gedaliah, the son of Pashur, and Ukal, the son of Shalima, and Pashur, the son of Melchiah, heard the words that Jeremiah had spoken unto all the people, saying, Thus saith Yahuwah, he that remain in this city shall die by the sword.
He gonna do what?
He that remain in this city shall die by the sword.
What city is he talking about? He's talking about Jerusalem. He said, anybody that remain in this city gonna die. This is straightforward. This is not a parable. This is not dark sentences or nothing. This is straightforward. If you stay here, you're gonna die. Read.
He that remain in this city shall die by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence. But he that go forth to the Chaldeans shall live, for he shall have his life for a prey.
That prey right here is actually for a reward. Read.
And shall live.
Read.
Thus saith Yahuwah, this city shall surely be given into the hand of the king of Babylon's army, which shall take it. Therefore, the princes and said unto the king, we beg you, let this man be put to death.
Let him do what?
Put to death.
So they want to put Jeremiah to death because he's coming and telling them Yah's words. I don't want to do this. I don't want to go into captivity. I don't want to go. I want to stay here and do what we're doing. But Yah already told you, if you stay, you're going to die. 3 ways. The sword, famine, and the pestilence. Either way, you're going to die a horrible death. This is the king going into captivity with them. What does that fulfill, anybody?
Deuteronomy chapter 28, I want to say verse 43.
Deuteronomy, hold this. Get Deuteronomy 28 and 36.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 36. Yahuwah shall bring you and your king, which you shall set over you, unto a nation which neither you nor your fathers have known.
Because what?
Which neither you nor your fathers have known.
This is the fulfillment of this happening in Jeremiah. When we came here, there was no king over us. But back here, this was the king that was going into captivity with the people. But he's hard-headed. He's a king, right? Kings rule people and boss people around and stuff, right? Let's go back, Jeremiah 38. We're going to pick it up at verse 15.
So I ain't talking about Christianity and Islam.
No, sir.
Jeremiah chapter 38 and verse 4.
Verse 15.
Oh, I'm sorry, verse 15. Then Jeremiah said unto Zedekiah, if I declare it unto you, will you not surely put me to death? And if I give you counsel, will you not listen to me? So Zedekiah the king swore secretly unto Jeremiah, saying, as Yahuwah lived, that made us this soul, I will not put you to death.
I won't do what?
I will not put you to death.
I ain't going to kill you, bro. I'm doing this in secret, though. Read.
Neither will I give you into the hand of these men that seek your life. Then said Jeremiah unto Zedekiah, thus saith Yahuwah, the Elohim of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, if you will surely go forth unto the king of Babylon's princes, then your soul shall live.
Read that one more time.
Then your soul shall live.
No, right before that.
Oh, if you it said assuredly, if you will surely go forth unto the king of Babylon's princes, then your soul shall live.
He's telling him, go into captivity.
It's your choice.
It's your choice. Yah already told you that this is what's going to take place. Do it. Go in. And if you do it, you're going to live. Read.
And this city shall not be burned with fire, and you shall live and your house. But if you will not go forth to the king of Babylon's princes, then shall this city be given into the hand of the Chaldeans, and they shall burn it with fire, and you shall not escape out of their hand. And Zedekiah the king said unto Jeremiah, I am afraid of the Yahudim that are fallen to the Chaldeans, lest they deliver me to their hand, and they mock me. And Jeremiah said, they shall not deliver you. Obey, I beg you.
Do what?
Obey, I beg you.
Obey. Listen. Read.
The voice of Yahuwah, which I speak to you, so it shall be well unto you, and your soul shall live. But if you refuse to go forth, this is the word that Yahuwah has shown me. And behold, all the women that are left in the king of Judah's house shall be brought forth to the king of Babylon's princes. And those women shall say, your friends have set you on, and have prevailed against you. Your feet are sunk in the mirror, and they are turned away back. So shall they bring out all your wives, and all your children to the Chaldeans, and you shall not escape out of their hand, but they shall be taken by the hand of the king of Babylon, and shall cause this city to be burned with fire.
So he lays down all the consequences. If you do this, and you go peacefully, you and your house is going to live. Everything going to be well, and you won't get the city burned up, and you won't get all of these people killed, right? But who is this dude actually thinking about? Himself. He let them know that the consequences that you're about to do is going to not only affect you, it's going to affect all of these people and your own house.
And the land.
And the land. You're going to get the land burned up. Let's see what they do. Read.
Then said Zedekiah unto Jeremiah, let no man know you these words, and you shall not die. But if the princes hear that I've talked with you, and they come to you, and say to you, declare to us now what you said unto the king, hide it not from us, and we will not put you to death. also what the king has said to you. Then you shall say to them, I presented my supplication before the king, that he would not cause me to return to Jonathan's house, to die there.
What verse you at?
Is verse 27 now?
All right, read.
Then came all the princes unto Jeremiah, and asked him, and he told them according to all the words that the king commanded. So they left off speaking with him, for the matter was not perceived. So Jeremiah abode in the court of the prison until the day that Jerusalem was taken.
That it was what?
To the day that Jerusalem was taken.
Until the day that Jerusalem was taken. Why did this? He must have did something. Finish that out.
And he was there when Jerusalem was taken.
And he was there when Jerusalem was taken. Go to the next chapter, first verse.
And in the 9th year of Zedekiah, king of Judah, in the 10th month, came Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and all his army against Jerusalem, and they besieged it.
Why did the army have to come? Somebody must not have obeyed what was told to him. Read.
And in the 11th year of Zedekiah, in the 4th month, the 9th day of the month, the city was broken up.
It was what?
Broken up.
So he told them, if you don't do this, the city gonna be broken and burned up and everything, and a lot of people gonna die.
It's been 2 years.
Read.
And all the princes of the king of Babylon came in and sat in the middle gate. Even Negal-Shazar,
Yeah, that name.
Samgar-Nebo, Sarshim, Rabsaris, Nergal-Sharezer, Rabmag. What all the residue of the princes of the king of Babylon. And it came to pass that when Zedekiah the king of Judah saw them, and all the men of war, that they fled and went forth out of the city by night.
They did what?
Went out of the city by night.
Is this being obedient? Read.
By the way of the king's garden, and by the gate between the two walls. And he went out the way of the plain. But the Chaldean army pursued after them, and overtook Zedekiah in the plains of Jericho. And when they had taken him, they brought him up to Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, to Riblah, in the land of Hamath, where he gave judgment upon him. Then the king of Babylon slew the sons of Zedekiah.
He did what?
Slew the sons of Zedekiah.
So his actions just caused him to get his children killed. The children ain't innocent, ain't guilty in this. Their father is. So the sin has fallen on his children, because y'all told him exactly what to do. Read.
Before his eyes.
Before what?
His eyes.
They slew him before his eyes. Read.
Also the king of Babylon slew the nobles of Judah. Moreover, he put out Zedekiah's eyes.
He did what?
He put out Zedekiah's eyes.
So now they poked this man's eyes out. And the last thing that he's seen is what?
His kids being killed.
Oh my goodness. Imagine you can't see no more, but you got this vision in your head because you was disobedient to what was written and what was told to you because you wanted to do it your way. The last thing that you see is your sons dying. Now they put your eyes out. Read.
And bound him with chains to carry him to Babylon. And the Chaldeans burned the king's house and the houses of the people with fire, and break down the walls of Jerusalem. And Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, carried away captive into Babylon the remnant of the people.
What verse what?
This is verse 9.
Read.
That remained in the city, and those that fell away, that fell to him, with the rest of the people that remained. But Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, left off the poor of the people, which had nothing, in the land of Judah, and gave them vineyards and fields at the same time. And Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, gave charge concerning Jeremiah.
He did what?
Gave charge concerning Jeremiah.
He gave charge concerning Jeremiah. Read.
Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, saying, Take him. Look well to him.
Do what?
Look well to him.
Put his eyes out.
Look well to him.
Look well to him. When a man's ways please Yah, even his enemies shall be at peace with him. Read it again.
Take him and look well to him. And do him no harm.
And do what?
Do him no harm.
Do him no harm. Even though he quote unquote in slavery right now, it's well with him. It's going good for him. Ain't no harm gonna come to him. We're in slavery because we disobeyed. Read.
But do to him even as he shall say to you.
Do what?
Do what he say.
Do what this man say. Whatever it seemed nice to him, whatever seemed good, do it. Even a man, when his ways please Yah, even his enemies shall be at peace with him.
Hallelujah.
Read.
So Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, sent, and Nebuzaradan, Rabsaris, Negral Sharazar, Radmag, and the king of Babylon's princes, even they sent and took Jeremiah out of the court of the prison.
They did what?
Took him out of the court of the prison.
Read.
And committed him to Gedaliah, the son of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan. Yeah, they got caught right here, y'all. That he should carry him home. So he dwelt among the people. Now the word of Yahuwah came unto Jeremiah while he was shut up in the court of the prison, saying, Go and speak to Edmelech.
What verse was it?
That's verse 16.
We're good right there. Give me Jeremiah 40 and verse 1.
Jeremiah 40 and 1. The word that came to Jeremiah from Yahuwah after that Nebuzaradan,
Skip the name, y'all.
the captain of the guard, had let him go from Ramah, when he had taken him being bound in chains among all that were carried captive of Jerusalem and Yehuda, which were carried away captive unto Babylon. And the captain of the guard took Jeremiah and said unto him, Yahuwah your Elohim have pronounced this evil upon this place.
Upon who?
Upon this place.
Read.
Now Yahuwah have brought it, and done according as he have said, because you have sinned against Yahuwah.
Because what?
You have sinned against Yahuwah.
Because you have sinned against Yah. This is why these evils have taken the people. I asked y'all a question last week. Was slavery a choice? Right? And it is. We chose it because we didn't obey. When you don't obey what Yah tell you to do, it's consequences to it. This is showing the consequences of not being obedient. Daniel was in captivity as well, right?
Okay, talk.
Daniel was in the same Babylonian captivity. Let's read on him a little bit. Daniel chapter 1.
Daniel 1.
Pick it up at verse 4.
Verse 4. Children in whom was no blemish, but well favored, and skillful in all wisdom, cunning in knowledge, understanding science, and such as had ability in them to stand in the king's palace, whom they might teach the learning and the tongue of the Chaldeans. And the king appointed them daily provisions of the king's meat.
Appointed what?
Daily provisions of the king's meat.
Daily provisions of the king's meat. Read.
And of the wine which he drank.
Of what?
The wine which he drank.
That's why you had that opulence. Read.
So nourishing them, shameless plug, so nourishing them 3 years.
How many?
3 years.
Read.
And at the end thereof, they might stand before the king. That's crazy. Now among these were the children of Yehuda, Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah.
Those are their real names. So don't say Meshach, Abednego, and all that. These are their names. Read.
Unto whom the prince of the eunuchs gave names. For he gave unto Daniel the name Belshazzar, and to Hananiah Shadrach, and unto Mishael of Meshach, and to Azariah Abednego. But Daniel proposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with the portion of the king's meat.
So Daniel was in slavery right now. So I'm pretty sure they got swine and all types of abominations that the king eats.
Right.
But this is supposed to be a delicacy, right? Daniel shouldn't have a choice of what he should be able to eat, right? He's a slave, right? Read.
Nor with wine which he drank. But Daniel proposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with the portion of the king's meat, nor with the wine which he drank. Therefore he requested of the prince of the eunuchs that he might not defile himself.
That he what?
Might not defile himself.
When a man's ways please Yah, even his enemies shall be at peace with him. Read.
Now Elohim had brought Daniel into favor.
Into what?
Into favor.
Oh, he must please Yah. His ways must please Yah. Read.
In tender love with the prince of the eunuchs. And the prince of the eunuchs said unto Daniel, I fear my master the king.
I do what?
I fear my master the king.
Man, you about to make me go against the king, bro. He told me to make sure y'all eat the pork chops and this and this and this. He gonna kill me if I don't give you this stuff. Read.
Who have appointed your meat and your drink. For why should he see your faces worse, liking than the children which are of your sort? Then shall you make me endanger my head to the king.
So he's afraid. Read.
Then said Daniel to Melzar, whom the prince of the eunuchs had set over Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, prove your servants. I beg you, 10 days. Let them give us post to eat and water to drink.
Let's give him what?
Let them give us vegetables, fruits and vegetables to eat.
And this is not a fast. Because people always say the Daniel fast. This is not a fast. This is a diet. Read.
Then let our countenance be looked upon before you, and the countenance of the children that eat the portions of the king's meat. And as you see, deal with your servants.
So Daniel is in slavery, gets his choice of what he's going to eat. Because he's pleasing to Yah. His ways please Yah. Even in this. So would y'all call Daniel or Jeremiah a coon?
Old house nigga.
A lot of people would say that they were coons. We don't see because Daniel has favor.
A coon doesn't usually stand against what the master's telling him to do. Daniel, he stands against it.
I got you. But he's actually in his cabinet. So if one of us was in some cabinet, what would the people be saying about
From
you?
the outside looking in, not knowing what's going on the inside, you'll probably be saying
That's exactly why I'm saying it.
Like Kanye wearing the magnet hat?
Exactly. Because that's what the perception is. He a coon, he doing this, that, and the third. He gotta be a part of the thing. Not always. That's why you don't just observe with the eyes. The eyes deceive you. What you see gets you tricked. Yes, exactly. So let's go to Daniel chapter 2, pick it up at verse 46.
Daniel 2:46. Then the king Nebuchadnezzar fell upon his face and worshipped Daniel.
He did what?
And worshipped Daniel.
He's worshiping Daniel. Don't do that. Read.
And commanded that they should offer an oblation and sweet odor to him. The king answered unto Daniel and said, of a truth, it is that your God is a God of gods, and a master of kings, and a revealer of secrets, saying you could reveal this secret. Then the king made Daniel a great man.
He did what?
Made Daniel a great man.
He made Daniel a great man. Daniel was in captivity. He's a slave. Read.
And gave him many gifts, and made him ruler over the whole province of Babylon.
Over what?
The whole province of Babylon.
Look at that house, nigga. Look at him. He doing this, and the third, but he actually still doing God's will. And he rises from a slave to the king over a whole province. Like she said, same type of thing with Joseph. Same type of thing. Because Daniel wasn't seeking his own way, he was seeking Yah's way. John chapter 5, verse 30.
Hanani, I hear your voice. Go sit next to your mother.
Go ahead. What was it?
John chapter 5 and verse 30.
John chapter 5 and verse 30. I can of mine own self do nothing.
I what?
I can of mine own self do nothing.
He said, I can of myself do nothing. Read.
As I hear, I judge.
I only go off of what I hear, what I judge. Read.
My judgment is just because I seek not mine own will.
I do what?
I seek not mine own will.
Even though he is the way, he's telling you I don't even seek my own way. Read.
But the will of the Father which
But-
hath sent me.
But what?
The will of the Father which hath sent
But
me.
the will or the way of the Father which hath sent me. John chapter 6 verse 38.
John chapter 6 and verse 38. For I came down from Shamaim, not to do mine own will.
Not to what?
Not to do mine own will.
I came down not to do my own will, not to do my own way. Read.
But the will of him that sent me. And this is the Father's will, which hath sent me, that of all which he hath given me, I shall lose nothing.
I said what?
I shall lose nothing,
Read.
but shall raise it up again at the last day. And this is the will of him that sent me.
This is what?
The will of him that sent me.
This is the will of him that sent me. Read.
That every one which sees the Son and believe on him may have everlasting life.
May have what?
Everlasting life.
Everlasting life.
And I will raise him up at the last day.
And I will do what?
I will raise him up at the last day.
Last script, Matthew 26, 34.
Matthew chapter 26 at verse 34. And Yeshua said unto him, Truly I say unto you, that this night, before the cock crow, you shall deny me thrice.
You want to do what?
Deny me thrice.
You're going to deny me 3 times. Jump down to verse 42.
Verse 42. He went away again the second time and prayed, saying, O my Father, if this cup may not pass away from me, except I drink it, your will be done.
So right here, this is the only time in his whole life that he wants to do his own thing. This is the only time, because he knows what's about to take place with him. He knows that these people are about to beat him. They about to spit on him. They about to talk about him like a dog. They about to do everything under the sun to him. His arms and everything is about to be out of socket. Right? It's so bad that it says that his sweat was as blood, and they haven't touched him yet. He knows what's about to take place for him. But if he don't do this, where does that leave his wife? Dead. So imagine somebody says, your child is at that back door, and I need you to walk through here, and on both sides is all of your worst enemies. And while you walking through, they beating you, spitting on you, and snatching your hair out, and talking about you like a dog. But if you stop and react to it, your child dies. What do? Do you get in your pride and stop and fight with the people? Or do you keep chucking? Hard thing to do. But he did it. He did it. Nevertheless, not my will, but your will. That's what we gotta do. We gotta give up our way, our will, in order to walk with him. And with that, this court is adjourned.
Hallelujah. Questions, comments, concerns? You liked it, you loved it, you hated it.
Question from last week, you didn't get to or something?
I think last week, we went into those before the lesson started.
Oh, okay.
For what you said from last week?
No.
The week before? We went over those. Yeah.
I had a question about Esther. I know this isn't directly related to the lesson today, but in Esther with Mordecai, was he? I don't believe he was, but just specifically, was Mordecai in any way going against Yah's law when he gave his niece to, was it cousin or niece, his niece, to the heathen king from Mary?
What?
That's not her real quick.
Yeah.
Did she talk about Esther, book of Esther, the Ahasuerus married Esther?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Pick it up at 101. Let's see.
Now, ask that question one more time.
Was Mordecai in any way going against the laws of the Most High, giving his daughter, not his daughter, his niece to a heathen king? And I base my question on Deuteronomy 7.
It starts at verse
7 and 8.
So we actually talked about this with the Ark last week. So, what nation is Ahasuerus from?
I believe it was he Babylon?
I think he's a Persian.
Persian.
So are
He's
they?
from Persians. So let's read Deuteronomy 7.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 1. When Yahuwah Elohim shall bring you into the land where you go to possess it, and cast out many nations before you.
And this is directly talking about when you go into the land. Read.
The Hittites, the Girgashites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than you. When Yahuwah your Elohim shall deliver them before you.
So who is this law specifically to?
The Israelites about those 7?
Mhm.
7 nations?
Just 7 nations. Are the Persians included?
Not by name, but I know that the Canaanites include a lot of other people. Like they may be of a certain town or city, but they are Canaanites.
Okay.
That's why I was still asking, even though after I read this list.
Can you show what the Canaanites was, like what you just said, that
No,
they were lots of other people?
No, I cannot. But of what people, of what lineage were
The Canaanites that were in Canaan at the time.
they? No, not the Canaanites, the Persians. Who are they in the Genesis?
No. This is what I'm saying.
Okay.
It says, when Yahuwah your Elohim shall bring you into the land which you go to possess it, and have cast out many nations before you, the Hittites, Girgashites, Amorites, and Canaanites. So whatever Canaanites dwelt, whichever Canaanites that dwelt in that land is who he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? Whichever one of these Canaanites that were in this land, this is who he's speaking of. So if the Persians were not in this land when he's talking about this, he's not talking about the Persians.
Yeah, well, that's where I'm asking the question. Who were the Persians? I mean, I've read about the Persians, but as far as their lineage, who they came from,
Let's see.
I don't know.
I believe the Persians come from Elam,
Who was
from Shem.
Oh, from
Yes.
Not
So,
from Ham.
no, not from Ham.
Okay.
So this law is specific in who it is talking about.
Right.
He said my law is perfect, right? If my law is perfect, I can't go to somewhere else and say, well, this says this, because now that's making my law not perfect. We don't need nothing else to add to the law to make it be right. It says exactly what it says.
Right. My question didn't come from anybody or anybody's teaching. I'm just talking about specifically that. But that answer, they came from Shem, answer specifically. That's all I'm
So when we were in Jeremiah and we were talking about how Jeremiah was going back to the king telling him to flee or you will die. So
Not to flee,
well not
but
to
to
flee, but to take their stuff and go elsewhere. Where were they going again?
to Babylon.
So they were going into captivity. Who wanted them to go into captivity?
Yes,
Peaceful.
Where were they then? Where were they?
they were in Jerusalem. They were in the land.
Okay. So but they were worshiping other deities?
Yes, they was breaking everything that he said not to do, they were doing it. And since you were breaking what I told you not to do, I'm kicking you out of the land. But I'm doing it in a peaceful manner. And if you go there, the way I'm telling you, it's going to be well for you. You're going to be just like we told with Jeremiah. They're going to be nice to you. They're going to do this. But if you don't go, it's going to be bad. Right? So it's like us being in captivity now. And I want to do it my own way. I want to get out of slavery myself. I'm going to deliver my own self out of it. That's where you mess up at.
You got anything on the chat? Oh, go ahead.
Not yet. Hold on, I'll go look at something real quick.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that.
No. Nothing on the chat?
I got a question. Y'all brought out Matthew 10 and 17 about the beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the council. How this hasn't taken place yet, right?
It has.
Yeah, some of it have.
Mm-hmm.
They did it to the prophet. To the apostles.
To who?
The apostles.
The apostles.
Oh, cut back. Right. But it hasn't taken place in this particular time frame yet.
Yeah, sometime, yeah.
Remember, I don't know if you was in there, but we was talking about how these end time prophecies were dual. So it was speaking to the people that was there at the time, but he also said, he that reads, let him understand. So if you're reading it for you to understand, it's letting you know you're reading this after this happened. You get what I'm saying? So once you're reading this, understand that this coming again.
It's coming, right.
Yeah.
I know, ain't nothing but it's done.
Right.
So everything that was done then is going to be done again.
Yeah.
But I was just, when I'm reading this, I know this happened before. I'm just not seeing it in this time frame. Maybe I'm, maybe
No,
on
it's-
the eastern side, because we live on the western side.
It coming.
Okay.
It's coming.
I have a question that's outside of the lesson, just to get some understanding of something
Hold on.
Just,
What is that chapter, is it?
it's chapter 2, around verse 12. And it talks about how, what the priest's custom was, with the sacrifices. Can you just kind of like explain like what they were doing? Because I was trying to understand it, and it just didn't make sense. Like between verse 13 through 16.
Okay, so that's 1 Samuel 2 and verse 12, right?
Yeah, you can start there, yeah.
Now the sons of Eli were the sons of Belial. They knew not Yahuwah, and the priest's customs with the people was that when any man offered sacrifice, the priest's servant came while the flesh was in seething with the flesh hook of 3 teeth in his hand, and he struck it into the pan or kettle or cauldron or pot. All that the flesh hook brought up, the priest took for himself. So they did in Shiloh or in Shiloh unto all the Israelites that came thither. Also, before they burnt the fat, the priest's servants came and said to the man that sacrificed, give flesh to roast for the priest, for he will not have sodden flesh of thee, but raw. So, like, what are you trying to understand about this?
I see they like they're doing something that they're not supposed to be doing, but I'm not really understanding like what they're doing.
It's some sort of, verse 13 says, and the priest's customs with the people was that when any man offered sacrifice, the priest's servants came while the flesh was in seething with the flesh of 3 teeth in his hand. Yeah, I gotta look at this in different ways to figure out exactly what this is talking about. When he struck it in the pan or kettle or cauldron or pot that the flesh hook brought up, the priest took for himself. So they did in Shiloh unto all the Israelites that came thither. Yeah, I gotta really read before this and see how did they get to this.
What was it?
Go to 1 Samuel 2 and 12.
Calling his sons the sons of Belial.
Well, what
Yeah.
they were doing.
Yeah, verse 13 and 14 shows the actions that they was doing.
What the people was that offered sacrifice. The servant came out of flesh was in seething.
All the way down to 16.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. And if the man said to him, let the fat be burned up first, then take as much as your being desire, he would then answer him, let me get the KJV. And before they burnt the fat, the priest's servants came and said to the man that sacrificed, give flesh to roast for the priest, for he will not have sodden flesh of thee, but raw. And if a man said unto him, let them not fail to burn the fat presently, and then take as much as thy soul desireth, then he would answer him, nay, but thou shalt give it me now, and if not, I will take it by force.
They was taking the offering straight up. They didn't let it burn or nothing.
Yeah, he
Straight
said,
up raw.
he doing it raw.
They was the offering. They
Yeah.
we're the priest giving to us.
Yeah,
Right.
they doing it in the raw. He says, I don't want it to be sodden flesh, but to be raw. That's not actually getting sacrificed.
Then he said, burn the fat. He like, nah, don't burn the fat. Give it to me.
And the fat is directly supposed to be burned. That's the sweet, savory smell that y'all be talking about.
Yeah, like if you don't give it to me, I'm gonna take it right now. They wanted to eat it raw.
So, all right, so then with this being said, this was happening every year when they did the sacrifices. Because it said that Elkanah and Hannah went up there every year to perform it or to give their offering. And so the priest was doing this yearly, basically. So it's a custom.
Yeah, this is these priests, particular priests' way. We know that the priest went off a whole bunch. Verse 17, wherefore the sin of the young men was very great before Yahuwah, for the men abhorred the offering of Yahuwah. So they definitely off in what they doing.
When I read it, I was just trying to understand what, I guess I couldn't really comprehend it. What, like, I knew it was wrong, but I didn't understand how it was wrong.
No. The custom, I think he's saying that the custom was for them to do it right. But that's when they came in and said, nah, don't burn it. Don't do this. Don't, like, read verse 14. It says,
I'll read it.
oh, go ahead. Start at verse 13.
And the priest custom with the people was that when any man offered sacrifice, the priest's servants came with the flesh, was in seething with the flesh hook of 3 teeth in his hand, and he struck it into the pan or kettle or cauldron or pot. All that the flesh hook brought up, the priest took for himself. So they did in Shiloh unto all the Israelites that came thither. Also, before they burnt the fat, the priest's servants came and said, the man that sacrificed give flesh to roast for the priest, for he will not have sodden flesh of thee, but raw.
So they came in and twisted the game. And then go ahead.
Probably get on that mic, right?
Oh, I'm sorry.
So they came in and changed the game up. So they were supposed to be doing it the right way. He said right when he was getting ready to go and burn the fat and all that, he said the servant came in and said, no, he wanted raw. In verse 16.
And if any man said unto him, let them not fail to burn the fat presently, and then take as much as your soul desires.
So the people gonna come up and say, hey, no, man, look, burn the fat, then take whatever you want. And then he said,
then he would answer him, nay, but you shall give it me now, and if not, I will take it by force.
So he came in and changed the game.
Wherefore the sin of the young men was very great before Yahuwah, for men abhorred the offering of Yahuwah.
Hey, have anybody ate raw meat before? I'm trying to figure out, like, what's the whole, you know what I'm saying? Like,
It's the blood.
That's what tastes good or something?
I don't know, I've never had it, but it's like the adrenochrome.
Pan-seared.
Medium well. Like when the priest did it, they would take what was already roasted and served, they would take some off. So they was like giving this stuff before y'all do that. You do the best before you put it on the altar.
Oh, you saying they take it and they cook it themselves over there.
The best stuff first.
I got you. So basically he's saying before you cook it down, you know what I'm saying? And y'all give us the portion. And we'll go cook it. Yeah. Take our stuff. Yeah.
Forget the altar. That's why they were saying that the altar is content, because they were taking the offering because they were the offering.
So they wanted to go and make their own pepper steak.
Because they felt like they were the way to the Father, so it don't matter as long as it comes through them.
What you got up? Okay.
And this is going back to the question she asked about was it Mordecai
Let's get them one at a time.
I'm sorry.
You said Leviticus 15:16?
No.
Leviticus 15:16. And if any man's seed of copulation go out from him, then shall he wash all his flesh in water and be
Did
unclean.
I say 15, 16? 20 and 15, 15, 16? Okay, go ahead.
What is it again?
20 and, Leviticus 20, chapter 15, verse, and chapter 16, I'm saying chapter, I'm sorry. Chapter 20, Leviticus chapter 20, verse 15 to 16.
Okay. Leviticus chapter 20, verse 15 and 16. And if any man lie with a beast, he shall surely be put to death, and he shall slay the beast. And if a woman approach unto any beast, and lie down thereto, thou shalt kill the woman and the beast. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. Okay.
And the next scripture to explain my question is Micah chapter 5, verse 8.
Okay, before we get there, why did we come here? What does this mean?
Micah 5 and 8 and 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 54 and 56 says that the Gentiles should be likened unto cattle. So that's what that was something that I was looking at, and I was just like, you know, is it really okay for us to do this? Like, because I gotta really know, because these are one of the
I see what
scriptures
you're
that
saying.
we use to make a comparison to that.
Yeah, so that beast that he talking about in Leviticus is literally an animal.
Right, that's literally an animal. But what they were saying was like they was comparing the Gentiles to animals, to cattle.
So you saying that they was gonna be put to death for that? So then we will have to literally, now when we go through the scriptures, we will have to see where people were put to death for laying down with Gentiles.
The term likened means I'm making a comparison. Like they should be desired as, you know what I'm saying, as cattle would be desired, not as other people or other Israelites or other people.
Okay, wait, say it again.
Like the term
So you said that we should really be doing this. I want to see if we should really be doing this. Really be doing what?
we should be, well, they would say that we shouldn't be messing with Gentiles.
That's where I'm at with it. So
And we should be looking at them as the same way we look at beasts.
So if this is correct, then once you lie with one of them, then you would be put to death, and they will be put to death. Because that's the reason why you set up for the law in Leviticus 20.
Yeah, that's exactly what that law that you told us to read states.
The comparison is more or less, I wouldn't want to lay down with no beast, so I shouldn't want to lay down with no Gentile.
So what makes a man a beast?
What makes a man a beast? They're just not something that we should, the Gentiles are something that we shouldn't be wanting to lay down with. That's basically what it's saying.
I'm asking, what makes a man a beast?
What makes a man a beast? Nothing makes a man a beast except for the fact that they're not one of us.
So y'all, at the end, he got this thing that he calls the beast system, right?
Right.
So why are they called beast?
Because of what their actions.
Because of what they do, their actions? So what if the Gentiles' actions is not beast-like?
They still wouldn't be equal to the Israelites.
I'm about to give you the same spiritualization, but I'm gonna flip it for you, right? He told us that we are a nation of kings and what else? And priests, right? It says that a priest should not lay with a harlot, right? All right. The children of Israel in Ezekiel chapter 16 are called a harlot. What happens if you lay with somebody that is of the children of Israel when they are referred to as a harlot? Right? So if I use your same logic, you get what I'm saying? And I placed those titles in that and then took it back to marrying or laying with them. Now we'll be in trouble for laying with our own kind because they harlots.
Well, it also says that the priest shouldn't lay with other Israelites, except they can only lay with someone within their own tribe.
So you're a priest, right?
Well, it was talking about the Levites.
But he said we are a nation
Right.
of what?
Kings and priests.
Right.
Right?
Right. Except for the Levites, it's like.
No. You are a nation
Right.
of kings and priests.
Right.
Right? So with that being said, the children of Israel, is the children of Israel a harlot at this moment?
I mean, a harlot.
Worshiping other gods? Right? So we a harlot at this moment. Should you be marrying anybody that's of the children of Israel?
Unless we keeping the laws.
Ooh.
Considered a harlot.
There you go.
What?
If you keeping the laws, you can't be considered a harlot.
So who you supposed to be marrying?
We're supposed to be marrying an Israelite that's keeping the laws.
You're supposed to be marrying a person that keeps the laws, right? Outside of the people that he told you not to marry. Right? So if I use that same logic with the Gentiles are cattle. Going back to Leviticus chapter 20, right? That would mean that if any man from that point to today would lay with a Gentile, whether they be of the law or not, according to that law, them and their wives, them and their husbands would have to be put to death. Right? Now let's look at a situation in the law where there was a woman that was an Israelitish woman. Right? Anybody know why she was called an Israelitish woman?
She wasn't all the way in.
I think her father was an Egyptian. That's what I think.
So if her father was an Egyptian, that would be.
What made her an Israelitish woman?
My mom was Israelite, her dad wasn't.
Which means that both of them would have had to be what?
Put to death.
Put to death. Then she went and married who? She went and married an Egyptian. And they had a child. Right? And what happened to that child when he disrespected Yahuwah? He got killed. He got put to death, right? Not the parents, but the child. So when we look through these scriptures, we look at Moses. Moses married an Egyptian. Or is it Ethiopian?
Ethiopian.
Ethiopian, I'm sorry.
But she's of another nation, right
She's
here.
not, exactly.
She's a beast, according to what you're saying. Moses and this woman supposed to be what?
Let's go beyond. Hold on, real quick. Let's go beyond.
That was before the laws.
Let's go beyond that. So now that the Most High gave the law, hold on, one second. Now that the Most High gave the law, right? According to what we talked about before, what was Moses supposed to do with that woman? But he didn't. As a matter of fact, his sister spoke out about that situation. And what happened to his sister? You feel what I'm saying? So if what you're saying is completely 100% infallible, we have to really go through the scriptures and say, well, either the Most High has improper judgment, or we looking at it in a skewed fashion. You know what I'm saying? And that's only because I was there before. Like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, we ain't supposed to, again, everybody in here is married to a Israelite, so to speak. You feel what I'm saying? And we're not pressing you to go and marry anybody outside of your nation. But if you marry somebody and it does not go against what's written, I don't have no say so in that. You feel what I'm saying?
And what's that scripture that says we have to treat those who, and this is in the Old Testament, those who join Israel and worship the Most High and follow Torah as ourselves, we treat them as ourselves.
Talking about Leviticus 19:33.
Yeah.
Where it says that a stranger as somebody that was born homebound, for you were once a stranger.
Yeah, stranger, Gentile, also engrafting, and in the New Testament, it's referred to as engrafting, so.
So we can't take a direct scripture in the law and then spiritualize it. If we spiritualize the law, we can make it say anything we want it to say. We can't do that. Now we're going to get into adding. If you add to the law, something is added to you. We can't do that. So with our personal biases, that's our own personal biases, is to actually be kept with you. Right? That's how you feel. So if you feel like I would never do that, cool. But if you teach somebody that the law says they can't do it, you add it. It's a punishment for adding. That's what you gotta really, really think about it. If I can't read this literally and it say this, because if this was against the law, it would actually say it. If you lay with a Gentile, you just lay with a beast, put him to death. But it don't say that. So we gotta really, really think about that.
I know how you feel, brother. I get it. These people that did all type of stuff to us, you know what I'm saying? But I guarantee, out of all of the history we've done, out of all of the people that we talk to, the only people that they talk about you not marrying for real is white people. Just being honest with ourselves, like when people see a black person with a white person, oh man, this cool, got with this Esau person. But, you know what I'm saying? They don't think about that with nobody else. The most times you see that being said is.
The most time you see it being said is when it comes to white people, because that's what we're dealing with here. You know what I'm saying? That's our oppressor. You know, when you want to get in bed with that kind of person, you know what I'm saying? It should be shameful, you know, but that's just my personal, you know. You should feel shameful to get in bed with somebody who done brutalized your people for all these years, and now you sitting there sleeping with them naked. I don't know. Like,
I feel you. I feel you. Listen, I am 1,000% with you, but I also think that you should feel shameful to sleep with a woman who been doing the same thing to Yahuwah all these years. Feel what I'm saying? Like it literally go
hand in hand.
You know what I'm saying? We gotta really take, because remember, like what he said, it's Yahuwah's will or our will, Yahuwah's way or our way. We may not agree. You know what I'm saying? With people's personal preferences or whatever. But when it comes to the law, it's like, look, this is what it is, this is what it ain't. His law perfect. He don't never leave us to chance nothing. You know what I'm saying? No chancing.
Most of his laws we're talking about this topic is always telling you to stay with your own people. You know what I'm saying? When you speak like the Numbers 36 that we looked at, it was always talking about Israel being with Israel.
But again, we can't use that.
He never came out and said, there's nowhere in the scripture where it tells you to go outside your family. It always say go to your kin. When you're dealing with Abraham and Isaac, it says go marry someone of your kin. Don't marry none.
First Chronicles 2 and 34. First Chronicles 2 and 34.
First Chronicles 2 and 34.
Do you agree that Yah is perfect? Okay. Read.
Now Sheshan had no sons.
Had what?
Had no sons.
So Sheshan has no sons. Read.
But daughters. And Sheshan had a servant, an Egyptian.
He had what?
A servant, an Egyptian.
Read.
Whose name was Yahah. And Sheshan gave his daughter to Yahah.
He gave it to who?
Yahah. To Yahah, his servant, to wife. And she bare him a tithe.
So who did he just give his daughters to?
This was a man, right?
Yes.
Like, man, this ain't the Most High saying nothing about it.
He didn't get in trouble.
According to what you're saying, they would actually
have to be put to death. Because that's what the law say, right? That's The very verse that you gave us says if you do this, this person is a beast, and they have to be put to death.
All right, let's keep reading. And Attai begat Dathan, and Dathan begat Zabad, and Zabad begat Ephah, and Ephah begat Obed, and Obed begat Jehu.
And who are these people through? Exactly, and they are in the lineage. They are considered what?
They consider the Israelites
But their father is what?
Egyptian. That would be considered Egyptian.
No, they not. They in the lineage.
Well, Judah had a baby with Tamar, and his descendant was considered
I'm going to read verse 1.
Judah, because of the family lineage. The father determines the lineage.
Here go verse 1, though. I got you. These are the sons of Israel.
Sons of who?
The sons of Israel.
The Egyptians.
The sons of Israel.
Read.
Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Dan, Joseph, Benjamin, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. The sons of Judah. So he's going through and naming them. All coming from the stem of Israel. Again, nobody is saying here, we're pushing, go be with a Gentile. But when we say something is against the law, where there is no law, there is no transgression. What is sin? Sin is the what? Transgression of the law. So if you can show where somebody transgressed the law, I'm talking about I will be up in arms with you. I'm telling you, I'll be right there with you. All you gotta do is show it to me in the book. Now, we have our own personal feelings and opinions about it. You know what I'm saying? But, like me, I always felt like I could never be with no white woman. That was just me. But that don't mean that it's a sin according to the scripture. What you hear?
Can we get Ezra chapter 2 real quick?
Ezra chapter 2.
Ezra chapter 2, verse 61. He started at verse 61.
He said, leave the crackers alone.
Crackers alone.
Ezra chapter 2, verse 61. And the children of the priest, the children of Abiah, the children of Koz, the children of Barzillai, which took a wife of the daughters of Barzillai, the Gileadite, and was called after their name. These sought their register among those that reckoned by genealogy, but they were not found. Therefore they, as polluted, put from the priesthood.
So they considered themselves priests, but through 70 years of captivity, they could not be found on the genealogical record of the Levitical priesthood. So if they didn't know who they was after 70 years, how do we know that we Israelites after 1600? There you go. It's not possible.
Yeah, but see, this is specific to them being priests.
Yes.
I want to be a priest, so when you have people say, I'm priest such and such, you have no clue if you are from Aaron's seed.
You don't know if you're from Judah seed. We've been mixed up in Islam and through everything. You could be a pure Hamite.
Well, I'm not, but yeah.
But the bottom line though is sin. When it comes down to sin, we gotta be sure. You get what I'm saying? When it comes down to sin, we have to absolutely be sure of what we saying and of what we pushing. You get what I'm saying? Because to impute sin on somebody is to say that you have went against the Most High's commandment. You know what I'm saying? And if we put sin there that's not sin, then now the same thing that we looking at them for sinning, we doing ourselves. And now we gotta pay for it. So a lot of times if we can't read it, we don't say it. You know what I'm saying? Like he say, his law is perfect, converting the soul. If there was anything in the law that he didn't want us to do, he said, thou shalt not, you shall not, don't do this, don't do that. You get what I'm saying? So if we can find that you shall not marry a Gentile, flat out, I'm with it. If he said you shall not marry anybody outside of your tribe, flat out, I'm with it. But he made provisions for that. He knew that wasn't going to be so. Right now, my wife could be from Levi. So did I break the law because I married her? Nah. You get what I'm saying? It's not specified in there. He don't say that. So that's just how we operate. Like, look, I feel you, but if it's not in the text, we can't say that that's what it is.
Well, the Levi part, it does say that you're not supposed to marry a child of Levi, because that's when we knew who he was at the time, so we don't know now, so I can understand.
Yeah. So, we got any other questions?
We gonna pray.
We gonna pray. We gonna pray. We gonna pray. We gonna pray. Oh, oh. Oh, slow. Monday, first day of Feast of Dedication, aka Hanukkah. We will be here every day this week at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Monday through Monday through Monday, 8 days. First day, last day, Monday. Everything in between. We'll be Sunday. When everybody come together, we will have a grill outside. So fellas, you know. No. Monday to Monday. So not tomorrow. Next week.
A week from tomorrow.
Right, yeah.
Me and Johnny may be heading out of town this weekend for I don't even know what to call it. It's some type of big Israelite worship service, right? It's like 2 days. They called us. They want us to come down. So if everything pans out like how we think it's gonna pan out, we'll be gone this weekend, but we will be back on Sunday. So y'all send some prayers up for that. If we go, we'll let you know. But yeah. Outside of that, we got any other announcements? Where? Okay, so for the brothers that was here last night, where are the menus? Who had them? Oh man. Okay. Okay. Hopefully we can find them, but the menus, we're here. Yep. So we got for the months to come and for this particular feast as well. So. Yes. This is the last Sunday of the month. Fourth Sunday, hot tea and head wraps. Whoop-de-woo. If you got your head wrap and your favorite mug, bring it up here and get you some hot tea and some grub. And, getting the ruach. You know what I'm saying? Sisters come together, get to know sisters more. You know what I'm saying? The whole nine. You know what I mean? Every fourth Sunday. Is it proper to announce the newsletter? Just give me a head nod or head shake no. Don't. No. It's not out. It's not made yet. It's not made yet. All right, we're not gonna mention it. It's only 2 papers. Okay. All right. So for the menu for December the 11th, we still have that, which is going to go up again today. But if hopefully he finds the rest of them, the menus or whatever. But we do have the menu for December the 11th, so everybody that would sign up for December the 11th, please sign up for December the 11th. Outside of that, I don't think we got nothing else. That's right. Special shout out to all of the vendors that came through and represented with a strong arm for the chosen seed. Everybody who purchased something, you are all the reason why these businesses continue to support those businesses, even outside of here.
And we're trying to do it again,
Yes,
like, probably like once a month or something.
that would be dope. People actually come, man, y'all. My wife been doing these pop-up shops, like going to these pop-up shops for the last, I don't know, was it half a year? Last 6 months you've been in and out of pop-up shops? People come to these things. All you gotta do is put it out there. You know what I'm saying? So get your merchandise together and let's start to put this thing together so people can know, hey, we going over there to the chosen seed for the, what was it called? Pop-up.
Pop-up shop.
Oh, I thought y'all had a name to it, like the chosen pop, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Up at the seed or something. You know what I mean? We had a successful breakfast this morning. We did this Shabbat breakfast this morning. You know what I'm saying? We chilled and kicked it and all that. You know what I mean? So, you know, if you are able, come on out.
What is that gonna be every Shabbat?
We are planning on having it every Shabbat. Yeah. This also promotes people being here by 1 o'clock. Secretly. Secretly. It's not a secret anymore. Tells you. But yeah, come get some breakfast. You know what I'm saying? It's all love. You know what I mean? But it was a success. We had pancakes and all that different type of stuff. It was naturally made pancakes. It wasn't boxed. Naturally made, natural ingredients. You know what I'm saying?
What time?
10 a.m. 10 a.m. Yeah, it was good. It was good. We'll have some fruit and all that different type of stuff next week. We probably gonna have the same stuff every week. But some fruit, some croissants and all that type of stuff.
Is there a menu sign up for that, or that's not part of it?
Potluck. You know what I'm saying? You'll no matter what, there will be food here. But if you bring something, if you want to bring something, come on through. So, grits, yes, absolutely. Oh, you said were there? No, wasn't no grits. I thought you were saying you were gonna bring some grits. Shoot, the grits is banging. What we had last time? What was it at the breakfast? Was the salmon grits. I ain't never heard of that to beat them. Salmon grits. Salmon. The L is silent.
No, if it's silent, don't put it in there.
Salmon.
Put it in there.
The W in sword.
It's pronounced sword, even though it's
Well, don't put the W in there. If it's in there, I'm gonna say it.
Right, Django. The D is Your mama shouldn't have named you that.
That's a lie, That's a lie, Turn on the light.
Turn on the light. And light a candle is.
There, I'm gonna say it. Phone don't start with no P. That's an F. You're not gonna trick me. Psycho don't start with no P. You're not tricking me. I know what it is.
Pico. All right. We got anything else? Any more grammar? Maybe. All right. Oh, we got a sweet potato pie back there. Hold on. Hold on.
I'm going from Ohio.
I just want to let y'all know, it did not come from a Thanksgiving dinner. Alexis made it. Okay. Half of it belongs to my house. Everybody can split up the rest.
His own way. His own way. He just did it his own way.
Yes, nobody gets a piece until after I get a piece. Jokes, but for real though. For real. Come on, y'all. We gon' pray. We gon' pray. We gon' pray. We gon' pray. Pray, right, the usher joint. Pray, we gon' pray. We gon' pray. We gon' pray. We gon' pray. Pray, pray,
Check. Come on, Lord. Pray us out today. We ain't heard your voice. You know what I'm saying?
All hearts and minds clear. Father Yah, we just want to thank you for allowing us to come together on this blessed Sabbath. And we thank you for giving the speaker utterance and giving the hearers understanding. We pray that you continue to remind us of this word, that we may go out and apply it, Father. Pride is a big issue in many of our lives. Many of us are constantly fighting the flesh. And we pray that you continue to help us battle this flesh, Father. Be an extra pair of eyes against evil for the things that we cannot see. Be our extra protection against Satan and his devices, his many devices. We know that he doesn't rest, so we need you to always be on guard for us, Father. Father, we ask that you bless this food that we get ready to partake in, and we thank you, by the way. We pray that you continue to teach us how to come together and be as one. We pray that you teach us to put the petty differences aside, that we may be as a family, Father. Remove hatred from our hearts. Fill it with agape, love, Father. In the name of our Master, Yahushua HaMashiach, so be it.
So be it. Abinu Shabbat Shemayim. Ikadosh. Shinka. Tabo. Makuka. Yeaseh. Rasonka. Ba'aretz. Kashir. Nasha. Bashemayim. Teilanu. Hayom. Likim. Ikanu. Uzlak. Lanu. Eight. Ashmatenu. Kashir. Sukim. Anagnu. Asmu. Lanu. Wa'al. Tabinu. Lidin. Masa. Ki. In. Asalanu. Min. Hara. Ki. Laka. Amamlaka. Wagi Barak. Ati Farek. Lamin. So be it. Hallelujah. Appreciate you, brother.